Good evening, Rust enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright, because it's time for Profit Review. Last week we discussed the Halloween Week 1 Rust Store for 2024, and that means today we're here to discuss Halloween Week 2. So sit back and relax, and I'm going to start yapping. But before we proceed, I understand some of you might be new to this, you don't fully understand what the focus of the video is. Well, I'll quickly explain. Basically, with every Rust Store that we see, I will return to it 4 weeks later, and I'll just see how everything turned out. Did everything match up to our expectations? And if not, I have to sit here and explain why. Also, with every brand new batch of skins, I'm always looking for a nice potential investment. So, of course, I would have made some predictions, but was I correct? Were the skins I suggested potentially being very nice investments correct or not? If not, you can hold me accountable. Simple as. Right then, so let's jump in. What was my initial reaction when I first saw this Rust Store? Well, again, another Halloween Rust Store. I say this every single year, every single time. Do not look at these skins and assume it's going to be an easy profit. Be aware that they get out of season very quickly, and, you know, are you going to want to wear Halloween stuff or have Halloween, you know, deplorables when it's March or June? It's a bit out of season, isn't it? And they do drop off pretty hard with their prices. So I was like, you're better off just sticking with boulders for pretty much every single one of them. Now, not all of these skins, some of them do stand out quite a bit, but yeah, by default I was like, don't look at these as if they're Christmas skins. In the lead up to next Halloween, you will not see like that many people buying them back again. They very likely will go down in price and never really recover. Alright, cool. So, not a great start there, I guess you could say. Now, when I first saw all of these skins, I was well aware of this Witch Garage Store beforehand. I had seen all the skin submissions. I saw the big collection of all the submissions. But when this was actually accepted, it came to light that a lot of people were pointing out that it appeared to have been made with AI. Alright, now I've got a video talking about this and I will show that off in a bit, and I'll talk more a little bit about that in a second. But yeah, a lot of people have been talking about it, and the word kind of got around pretty quickly, because over the course of the first few hours, that was getting bought very heavily. Okay, right, well, is that going to become a bit of a problem? We'll talk more about that, but looking at it, it reminded me kind of the garage door we had the previous year, the previous, what was it, Spell Garage Door? I'll remind myself in a second, don't you worry. But that did go down in price quite a fair bit, but retained most of its value throughout the year. So maybe that was going to do the same, or maybe it's going to sell too much, a little bit too excessively. So we'll talk more about that in a bit. Now, the mummy wrap jacket, an interesting jacket skin, as you can see, of its transparency. A lot of people instantly assumed, oh, hang on a minute, is that a white jacket? No, it was like light brown, but it just so happened to be perfect desert camouflage. But it's a jacket. I know. You probably don't want to wear it in the desert, but I did like do some pairings just to see how it looked, and it blended in very nicely with Desert Raiders. Would that potentially be utilised in the future? Would that be in like good graces? Well, we'll talk more about that in a bit. Crypt Armored Door was accepted, which was very nice to see, because it was a collection continuation from a double door that was submitted years ago. So, alright, cool, that was very nice. We had some interesting clothing and armour pieces, but by default, I instantly knew that's going to go down in price pretty heavily. And to my surprise, a wooden double door and a sheet metal double door, but more specifically, a wooden double door, because that was the first wooden double door to be accepted in the entire year. Like, it's quite rare to see these, so I was like, well, hang on a minute, it's also from the From Hell collection, a fairly notable, very large collection. And I was like, well, hang on a minute, that's looking very interesting. So, yeah, alright, a lovely batch of skins, but now let's talk specifically about my predictions. So as we hop back over to here, now as I was looking at all the skins, I was, of course, keeping in mind that Halloween skins, not exactly the best of investments. So if I could actually go over to here, I was looking at all of them, and by default, looking at that Witch Garage Door, very cautious with that many sales already, I actually looked at the wooden double door from Hell. I was like, guys, I do not expect another wooden double door to be accepted in a very long time. Over the course of 2024, of course, I'm keeping track of all the workshop submissions and whatnot. That wooden double door was probably going to be the only double door for a very long time, potentially. You know, it'd been almost a year, and then we got that accepted. Are we going to have another year, and then we get another one accepted? Or ever. Ever. But again, it was a very cool, standout, glow-in-the-dark wooden double door skin from a notable collection that people do appreciate. And yes, you do use wooden double doors for a reasonable amount of time in the early start of your base. So I was like, okay, you know what? I could see it being used quite a lot. I could see it being appreciated. I was thinking that was going to probably be the best performer. Then I was looking at the other skins, And, well, I'm going to remind myself a little bit here. I looked at the Dark Magic Library Sheet Metal Double Door. Now, I didn't talk too much about that just a second ago. But this was a gimmicky Halloween Sheet Metal Double Door. As you can see, it's got the pumpkins, it's got candles, it's got cobwebs, it's got books. So many spooky things in the EGS. But, like, we had a lot of Sheet Metal Doors up to this point in 2024. But would it suffer with it being very gimmicky for Halloween, or would it just be like a generic Sheet Metal Double Door skin which just goes up in price and retains value pretty much for the rest of the year, for the foreseeable future? Because we did have a lot of Sheet Metal Double Doors at that specific point. So it's like, okay, maybe it does work out okay. Maybe it does work out nicely, but not everything is straightforward, is it? Then we had the Witch Garage Door. Now, I acknowledge a lot of people wanted it. It's an anime cat girl witch. Come on now. But yeah, I was very cautious about the issue of a lot of people just assumed it might have been removed from the Rust Store, with it potentially being, well, a lot of people probably would have just assumed it was like a copyright issue. We remember the Neon Dragon Garage Door, don't we? But it was not such a case, and I'll talk more about that in a bit because it kind of developed even further from there. But it was selling just a little bit too much. I was very cautious. I thought, okay, I acknowledge a lot of people want it, but I'm also worried it might be selling a little bit too much. We'll see how things turn out. But if I could just quickly showcase to you from the previous year, from the previous Halloween, we had another Halloween themed garage door. I've already mentioned it, but what was its actual name? So as I scroll down, there it is, Spell Garage Door. Now, I made this instant comparison because this did like 30,000 subscribers when it was accepted in the Rust Store, and pretty much throughout all the year, yes, it had like low points, but it was doing pretty good during the summer. Sold at $4. At its lowest, it went just below $3, but at its best, it went all the way up to almost $5.50. So yeah, even though it was very gimmick towards Halloween, cute, which that's what needs to be said. People wanted it. Now, would people want her? Okay, so all right, I got it. I looked at it. I thought, okay, maybe that would be pretty okay. Then I looked at the remaining skins, and I'll be honest with you, things weren't exactly like super enthusiastic, but yeah, I looked at the Mummy Wraps jacket, and as I said, a very interesting look, especially when you pair it up with Desert Raiders, as you can see right here. I put the short video out. It did get quite a lot of attention. It does blend in very nicely with that, but a jacket in the desert. I was very cautious. 99 cents. We had a lot of jacket skins accepted up to this point. Was that going to actually be utilised with Desert Raiders and whatnot, or would it just be forgotten? So, yeah, I wasn't 100% convinced. Then we had the Crypt Armored Door, a lovely continuation, but Armored Doors up to this specific point, not exactly holding up super great. I wasn't feeling super confident for it. I know a lot of enthusiastic people very happy to see it, but again, Halloween skins. And then it came to the case of the not-so-cute Sheet Metal Door. Now, I haven't really talked too much about this. As we flick back over to here, take a look at its workshop page, you will see for yourself a pretty cute, bright blob. Yeah, I thought to myself, you know what? I know it's a ghost, but would people appreciate that throughout the year? Would it be liked? I mean, it's a very straightforward but goofy looking design. Sheet Metal Doors this year. Now, the scary little angry glow-in-the-dark face I thought was very cute. And, well, you know, it's called Not So Cute. But, yeah, maybe it might work out. But, again, not so confident. Sheet Metal Doors. And then it came to the remaining clothing and armour. The Tier 3 armour and the hoodie and pants. I knew for a fact that it was going to go down in price regardless. I knew for a fact it would probably go down to about 30 to 40 cents. Yeah. So what could potentially be a nice benefit for it in the future is, do we see continuations? Would Tooth Monster get Tier 2 or Tier 3? Would The Awakened get Tier 2 or Hoodie and Pants? Well, we have to wait another year. So over the course of that time, yes, it's going to drop down in price pretty hard. Fully expected. Didn't really want to go near it. But a nice cheap pickup with 20 to 30 cent buy orders, well, you know, can't say no to that. And then the weapons, the Pumpkin Exhibition SAR and the Gore AR. Funnily enough, last year we had the Gore SAR and the Pumpkin Exhibition AK, and they went down to less than $1 pretty hard. So, yeah, the exact same thing was expected. Gimmicky Halloween weapon skins, unfortunately, cannot evade the inevitable. So, yeah, overall, it was not exactly looking to be a huge investing type of week, but there were some skins that did stand out. There were some notable things that were going on. So let's now talk about what happened in regards to this Witch Garage Door. So as we hop back over to here, and I quickly showcase this video to you, I made a video right here which you can go see for yourself. AI witch garage door situation, more Ruskins soon. Basically, there was quite a lot of investigating from other skin creators, and they were raising their issue on Twitter, and it was very vocal. And the Face Punch devs actually had to step forward and say that they were very suspicious of the art as well, but it had been accepted. They weren't going to remove it. Yeah, but they said in the future they're going to be extra sure that something like this does not happen. AI is not supposed to be incorporated into works on Steam, apparently, and it's definitely against the rules that Face Punch have in place with, producing Ruskins. So, yeah. You think of this what you will. Consider watching the video, look at all the details, and you can sit there and make your own assumption. But anyway, that happened, but still, it wasn't removed from the Rust store. That did not happen, all right? So, all right then, that happened. So what happened over the course of the time? Well, it just kept getting bought and bought and bought and bought. It's pretty ridiculous. So now we're going to go over and quickly show you the first 24 hours of sales. And as you can see, that Witch Garage door did 17,500 subscribers. That is absurd, especially when you compare it to like an average normal Rust store. So that was selling a lot. And then second place was the Mummy Rep jacket with just under 10,000 subscribers. So, yeah, these were selling quite a lot. But then I could see over to here the sheet metal double door, the wooden double door, only about 7,500 subscribers each. Okay, if they're not going to sell that much, these are getting more attention. If they're not going to sell that much, all the better for them to potentially rise up in price in the future. It was making me feel more confident in them. So, okay, yeah, cool, that's fine. And, even these clothing and armour pieces, not selling too much. So, all right, let's now talk about how things progressed with the abnormal borders as we hop over to here and we look at the amount of sales that we could see. So the night before we had the Rust rotation, Witch Garage door had over 40,000 subscribers. Mummy Rep Jacket had over 20,000 subscribers, and then the Armoured Door 17,500, the Awakened Face Mask 16,000, and the Wooden Double Door from Hell only 16,000 subscribers. Ooh, okay, so I was feeling confident in the wooden double door. That was the thing I was going to prioritise. But that Witch Garage door, the amount that it had sold, is that too much? Or is that too little? As time progresses, was it going to behave like last year's garage door, where it went down in price when times were pretty bad, but during the summer when a lot of people were playing, a lot of people wanted that Witch Garage door? Would the same thing happen to this? A witch cat girl. Anime cat girl. I'm pretty sure there was quite a lot of fans, because when I produced that video discussing the situation with that garage door, a lot of people just like, I don't care, it's anime girl, I need her. Alright, well, at least you're truthful. Anyway, when I was looking at all of these skins, I of course had to consider what prices I wanted to offer them. So as I looked at them, I went with $1 to $1.50 for the Witch Garage door. A $3 garage door skin, but gimmick towards Halloween, okay. And garage doors up to this point, quite a lot of them, and there will be even more. There will be more Twitch drops and whatnot. So I was like, okay, after everything that's happened, I'm not sure if the notoriety, the story behind it would help the value of that garage door skin. So I was like, I think I'm just going to play it safe and do $1 to $1.50. That's how I wanted to approach it. I looked at the Crypt Armored door, and I thought, you know what? Sold quite a fair bit. Looked at the other armoured doors that came out in 2024. They weren't holding up very nicely. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a safe 90 cent to $1.30 barter. I only go up to about halfway. Then I looked at the wooden double door from Hell, and that was the skin I was feeling most confident in. That was the skin that I thought, you know what, I know it's selling at $2.49, but I'm going to do a $1.70 barter to $2.20 barter, and I was feeling confident that I was actually going to go ahead and buy them. I was feeling confident that we weren't going to see another wooden double door skin being accepted for quite a while. So, yeah, that was the skin I was actually considering buying. And then I looked at the Awakened Tier 3 face mask. Obviously sold quite a fair bit more compared to the chest plate. But unfortunately, as I said, when it comes to skins like this, I know they're going to drop hard. So I said, guys, if you want to buy this, just put down a 30 cent to 40 cent barter. You'll pick them up eventually. Same thing can be said with the clothing, but that wasn't abnormal, so I'll talk about that in a second. But yes, the not so cute sheep door A cute, goofy looking design, but I was like, you know what, I still got to play it safe. 90 cents to $1.30, even though it sold at $2.49. And then there was the Tooth Monster hoodie, which was a higher price compared to the pants for some strange reason. But as I said, with the the tier 3 there, it's going to be a 30 cents to 40 cent situation. It had a bit of green to it and whatnot. Camouflage? No. It's got like purple or pink on it and whatnot. So I wasn't enthusiastic, is the word to say. And then we did have the Gore AK-47, but it was a 60 cents to 80 cents situation. Yeah, very gimmicky towards like Halloween. The meat on it and whatnot looked cool. It's just we had the same thing with the start of the previous year, and it went down. So I fully expect the same thing to happen there. And then with the non-abnormal skins, the Mummy Wrap Jacket, over 20,000 subscribers, 99 cents. I thought, okay, maybe it does work out quite nicely. Clearly there's the demand. So I went with 70 cents to 80 cents. And Pumpkin Exhibition SAR, that right there, $2. No, 60 cents to 80 cents. Wasn't going to risk it. The Tooth Monster pants, same thing with the hoodie, same price, 30 cents to 40 cents. And there was also the Dracula Cape. I didn't talk about that, did I? But this was actually submitted on a Monday. It was the brand new item for Halloween 2024, and if I could just quickly hop back over to here, I can quickly showcase to you that I did make a video discussing doing the buy orders. Now, in short, it is a what price was it? I can't remember. It was $6, and it was not like, okay, I made a reference to the chicken wooden legs, the Easter wooden legs that they got, where it's basically looking like you're riding a giant chicken. That you can make just like that. Wooden legs, you could just make like that. But that was a jacket, technically speaking. You needed a workbench. And I was thinking, is that going to be used as much compared to, the chicken legs? And, it's very noticeable. It looks cool, but it's very noticeable. And if you wore anything that would go over it, or rather like a hoodie or something, it wouldn't be seen. It's impossible. So I was like, I'm not sure if that's going to be a-okay. So when I approached this with my buy orders, I decided that I was simply going to do a $3 buy order. I did $1, $2, $3. And if you'd like to see more about how I approached it, during this entire video I talk about what I'm thinking, how I'm going to approach it, and then I show off the buy orders. It's a very straightforward video. Consider watching my Rust Dracula Cape buy order, Rust skin investing video. It's right there. It's up to you. Cool. So, quite a lot happened over the course of that week. So now, shall we go ahead and talk about how everything turned out? What was the result? Which garage store is now sitting here comfortably up in price by about 30%? Even though it's sold an absurd amount, doesn't matter. So, okay, well, there you go. I wasn't enthusiastic with the skin after the whole situation it had. Sitting there at $4 at the moment. Buy orders only going up to $3 though. So, if I could just quickly show you this, it's kind of spread out. I'm not sure if this is actually going to retain its value when we go through the Easter dip. Just to remind all of you, these past 2 months have been absurd. October was absolutely fantastic with the player count. November surpassed it. I am very surprised to see 95,000 for November so far, but that's just how things have been. So, okay, okay, you could probably understand why some of these skins are doing pretty okay, but not all of them. Anyway, that which garage door? I don't know if it's going to always stay up in price. When we go through February, March and April, when we go for the Easter dip, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops off, basically emulating the behaviour of last year's garage door. But during the summer, will it rise up again? This past summer, we had absolutely absurd numbers. There you go, 97,000 average player count there. I am thinking it will probably be nice, but there is a lot of them in circulation. Whatever you think about that, feel free to comment below. Did you buy any for yourself? And did you flip any? Alright, so yeah, that worked out perfectly fine. What about the Mummy Wrap Jacket? Nope. That went down in price. Yeah, I know. So I suggested, what, like 70 cents to 80 cents? Yeah, that didn't work out very nicely. Look at the amount that have been listed. Yep. So here's a quick lesson. Other people exist. And it's not an enjoyable experience. Yeah, other people exist and they think, oh, well, I've got all this stock. Time to unload all of it. So, yeah, it's just basically been on a downward trend. I did do a lowball buy order right there, though. Yeah, that's like 50 cents there. Do you want to keep that buy order? Well, we'll see how things turn out in the future. You never know. Maybe we'll get like a mummy hoodie and pants next year. It'll be like a cheap Desert Raiders. Ooh, actually, You know what? Who made this skin? I should probably inform them of that. Yeah, Mr. Barurik. You might want to consider it. But of course, we've got to wait another year. But yeah, that did not do a very good job of retaining its value. And yes, it went below the price I suggested, so I was wrong there. I was also wrong on the Witch Garage door. Played it too safe, and I thought too much of this one. So it's not a very good start, this, is it? Nope. Right, Crypt Armored Door. Well, I expected it to go down in price, and yes, it did. As you can see, it's basically at half its price, $2.49, and now it's down to $1.30, or rather $1.20 there. So my suggestion for that was 90 cents to $1.30. It appears to be smack dab on the suggestion, but if you bought it at that price, you wouldn't be able to sell it for a profit right about now. Armored doors have not been performing very nicely over the past couple of years. There's my lowball barder right there. Still yet to pick some of these up, but as we go through Easter, I wouldn't be surprised if I pick some of them up. So I'll sit there and say I was kind of correct on that one. Now, the Awakened face mask and chest plate, if we were to just go ahead and take a look at this real quickly, you can see for yourself that they are down in price, but I don't think they've reached their low point. So yes, this is currently sitting at 75 cents. Plenty of barders all spread out, but give it time, I do believe it will just keep going down and down and down and down. So if you have managed to pick some of these up, you probably do want to sell them now, I guess, or wait until next year at the very least. Will we get the Awakened hoodie and pants or tier 2? Time will tell. Time will tell. I feel confident it will happen. It's just a matter of will it actually be accepted. Okay, cool. Wooden double door. All right, so let me just quickly show you this. What happened? I intended to buy 100 of these, but the rust door rotated super early the next week. or rather the next day is what I should say. So I missed out. I like to buy them like during the afternoon of the Thursday, but it rotated early, like really early. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just approach this with a third buy order where I went very close and did $2.30. Now, I have bought a lot of them, as you can see. I'm still fine with that. I'm okay. I'm not fussed. So, yes, this has not gone down in price, and the buy orders in it, very, very strong. And yes, there's 81 listings at the moment. Yes, I've picked up a lot of the sales, but as it kind of dries up with people wanting to sell, and then it gets to a point where people are looking for some wooden double doors. Oh, hang on a minute, we don't really have that many skins. Well, I guess I could go get the From Hell one. Gradually, graciously, I expect it to rise up in price. Look at that, it's not super big and thick, is it? No big fat walls of resistance. The support here is very, very strong. And in total, of course, it did 16,800 subscribers. Not a ridiculous amount. So, to this day, it's currently in the positive. I'm definitely one of the people holding it up, I'm sure you can see. But I'm happy with that. I'm not upset, and I'm pretty sure if I could just wait it out until probably January time or the summer of 2025, I think I'll be able to flip those for a nice decent profit. And yes, as of now, I haven't seen any interesting wooden double door submissions. I mean, we'll see. We might have another complete the sets next week, and we'll probably see a wooden double door there. Oh dear, oh no. We'll see. But yeah, that is holding up. I was correct, but I'm definitely influencing the correct part there. So, yeah, it is what it is. Not so cute Shima door. Now, initially, this did work out quite nicely in terms of retaining its value. Then it dropped off. Now, it hasn't dropped off ridiculously. As of now, it's currently sitting here at $1.50. It's performing better than most cheap Matadors. But yeah, just look at its like history. Went down initially a little bit, but still sitting at around like $2.50. Then it drops off again. I'm not sure what happened to cause that to drop off again. But, yeah, it is what it is. Now, I've got a lowball barder right there. Still yet to pick some up. My other barder, I did pick a few up, but I removed it. Now, my price suggestion for the not-so-cute sheep door was 90 cents to $1.30, and as you can see here, yeah, that appears to be okay. That appears to have been perfectly fine, but I do believe it probably still will drop off a little bit more. So if you did follow that barder, I would sit there and say it's correct, but what do you do now? I don't know. I don't know. But the barders still look like it's strong enough that it'll stay above $1 for the foreseeable future. Maybe it does work out quite nicely. Maybe people will appreciate a nice, cute little ghost to protect their base. Well, keep up the good work there, Casper. Anyway, let's now move on and talk about the next skin, the Dark Magic Library. So here's a weird thing that happened. The very next week, we actually did get another Halloween Rust door, which was very, very, very strange because we've never had 3 weeks of Halloween Rust doors. We got another Sheep Metal Double door. Huh. Oh, no. So that really didn't help this out. And as of now, it has gone down in price. Quite sad to see. And you know what? I just realised I didn't mention the price I suggested when we did the abnormal barders. I'm very sorry about that. Well, I'll sit here and explain. I suggested $1 to $1.50 to $2, and right now, as you can see, it's not it's not exactly holding up super great, is it? No. So initially, it was doing fine, and then it went down and down and down and down. I did $1.13, like $1.90, I believe. So I have bought a bunch of these. Yes, I have. But yeah, that went down. That went down. Yes, indeed, it did. Now, how many listings are there? Not too many. If a decent amount of sales happen, could it go back up to its roster price? Yes, but it's all of that. Actually, no, it's actually 250, so it's still like there, but point made. There's still quite a lot to go through. But sheet metal double doors over the past year, they performed quite nicely. I'll look at once again, and as you can see, with so many acceptances, by default you'd assume, well, wouldn't they compete with each other? Wouldn't they struggle? But only these two Halloween sheet metal double doors are the ones that are struggling. That's a bit concerning. Hopefully they go back up a price for Halloween next year, right? But give it some time. They didn't sell ridiculously. Both of them did about 16,000 subscribers. Maybe they'll just turn out to a point where they end up going up to evens, and that would be okay. With the builder prices we put down, yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, it went lower. So I was wrong there. I'll admit that. Very sorry about that. So then we have the Pumpkin Exhibition SAR. It's sitting there at $1. Nothing really needs to be said. It was expected. Could it go any lower? Probably. But no one's like aching for it right now. So yeah, 60 cents to 80 cents was a perfectly fine suggestion. Then we have the Tooth Monster hoodie and pants. Same thing basically with what we said in regards to the tier 3. It's gone down in price. Hasn't gone all the way down to the price I suggested. But I fully expect it to go down worse as we approach the Easter time. So, yeah, it's sitting there at 66 cents right now. When you look at the barders, do not be surprised in the slightest if it does go down to around 30 cents. Look at those barders. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So let's see if we do see the continuations next year. Because if we don't, it's just going to stay like that forever, basically. And then we have the Gore AK-47. Same thing in regards to what we just said with the SAR. It's actually down to 83 cents. It's actually down to 83 cents. So if you went with the 60 cent to 80 cent buy order, well, you probably picked up a bunch of them, and you're probably better off just turning it into metal. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go up in price that much. So, yeah, maybe it's time to consider going into your inventory in-game and just convert it into metal and see if you can make some decent profit out of that. And judging by the price of metal right there, I'm guessing it's probably not even profitable there. That's looking pretty concerning. Oh dear, but wait till January. There's expected to be even more people playing, more demand for skins, higher skin prices. And for people who want to make loot boxes, well, there you go, they need metal, so just putting it out. Okay, cool. And yeah, that is basically everything. We can also talk about the Dracula Cape as a nice additional thing to talk about. So the Dracula Cape has dropped off. It's gone down by $1 at the moment. I am fully expecting it will be going lower. I don't know how low it can go, but I'm sure it'll be special enough that it'll probably still stick around $3 to $4. And then in the lead up to the next Halloween, will it go back up in price again? I fully expect it. If it sells for the exact same price as what we just had a couple of weeks back, yes, I do believe it will rise back up. So, yeah, things are pretty much as expected. Halloween skins. I mean, I did say at the very beginning, don't look at these skins and instantly assume it's going to be super massive profits. But some have actually done very nicely as of now. But all the others, as expected. So yes, next week we will be talking about Halloween Week 3, which again, big surprise, never had 3 Halloween Rustors in the same year, but yeah, even more Halloween skins, and very likely even more disappointment Halloween skins. So yeah, just to reiterate this, that October, absolutely insane, lots of skins did go down in price, but not by much. And during November, pretty much the same thing. As we get closer and closer to January time, after talking about so many Rustors over the past year, will there be lots of skins that will now reach new all-time high prices? Maybe even the Halloween skins? We shall see, but all skins in general. So, have you made some nice investments throughout the past year? Did you purchase anything from this Rustor or the previous Rustors from the past month or so? And are you looking forward to how everything's turning out? I did produce a video kind of recently talking about my inventory. Yes, there is an absurd amount of skins in my $75,000 Rust inventory, but I've still got to sell all of that. And I have done quite a fair bit as of recent. It's not too hard to sell, but skins don't look like they've peaked in price just yet. So, yeah, we'll see how it all progresses. So once again, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope the videos were nice and insightful, and hopefully you do walk away with some sweet, delicious profit over the course of the next couple of months. So let's now go ahead and look forward to potentially an absolutely absurd January time where we have maybe record-breaking peak player counts and record-breaking average player counts. Oh, I really hope so. But yeah, if you're vying for massive profits, that's exactly what you're looking forward to. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later. See you, goodbye.